But look, I guess we have to start with Manchester United less than 24 hours after that humiliating cup defeat to Grimsby. Andre Onana took a fair bit of criticism for his part in the defeat, with United remaining in talks with Royal Antwerp over the signing of Senne Lammens. Now, James, United fans will be asking, can their problems be solved by buying a goalkeeper? I'm guessing the answer might not be yes.
Well, they can't serve all their options,
no.
but the issues by signing a goalkeeper. But when you look at the goals they've conceded, there have been 3 matches of the season. 3 of the goals could have been prevented if they had a goalkeeper in there that wasn't making mistakes. And Andre Onana and Altay Bayindir have made a number of errors for Manchester United. Andre Onana has over the course of the 2 years he's been at the club, and with the 2 goals yesterday. And Bayindir doesn't look quite right when it comes to balls coming into the box either via crosses or set pieces. But the thing is, for Manchester United, there's a number of issues there, but you can't solve every single issue you have in one transfer window. You have to prioritise, and what United have done in this transfer window is they've prioritised sorting out their front line, which they've done, signing a striker and 2 wide players as well. They'd like to sign a centre midfielder and a goalkeeper, but you're so heavily restricted when it comes to profit and sustainability. And unfortunately for Manchester United, they've not been very good at selling players. If they were able to sanction departures for the likes of Rasmus Hojlund, Jadon Sancho, Anthony, but get really good money for these players, then they would be in a really good position in the final few days of this window where they could go, right, we know we need a goalkeeper, let's go and get the best one in the world, let's go and get Donnarumma. Everyone in the world wants to sign him. But because United can't sell well at this moment in time, they can't attack the final days of this transfer window, because they'd leave themselves in a situation whereby, to comply with PSR, if they don't sell these players and get good money, they'd have to then try to sell them in January, where clubs know they're desperate to sell them. They wouldn't be able to buy players in January. Or they'd have to try and sell them before the 30th of June next summer, where clubs know they're absolutely desperate to get rid of them to avoid breaching profit and sustainability rules. We know they remain in talks with Royal Antwerp around the signing of Senne Lammens, but he wouldn't immediately come in and be United's number one. That's not our understanding. He's 23 years of age. He's a goalkeeper that Amorim's admired for a long period of time. He's looked at him since he was at Sporting, in fact. But he's been seen as somebody that can come and compete for the number 1 jersey. I think if you ask Manchester United fans, this game against Burnley this weekend, they'd want Tom Heaton to start in goal. If you did a poll right now, they'd want Tom Heaton starting goal. That's how little confidence they have in the goalkeepers they have there right now. But in terms of United going after somebody who's going to come in and be a number 1 straight away, unfortunately, at this moment in time, it looks that is going to be pretty much impossible for them to do before Monday night.
Yeah, and as James was stressing there, it's only like 4 days left in this window, so tough times in the market at the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, for the last few weeks, we've been saying Manchester United fans should be happy. They've got a new front 3, you know, Benjamin Sesko, Brian Mbeumo, Matthias Cunha. Cunha and Mbeumo are part of the US tour, so not exactly new anymore. They've been part of it for the last few weeks. So I was just more alarmed by Amorim's comments post-match about the squad and what, you know, listening to him, and he was so downbeat. I mean, he's done this before, and he's obviously said last season it was the worst Man United side, but this is supposed to be a fresh start. I think what it does tell you is that if he's part of this, that this is going to take some time. And as James mentioned, that this is just only one other transfer window. You can only do so much. And OK, he said like they're not equipped for Europe this season. This is Manchester United Football Club, for goodness sake. We're about to do the Champions League draw in an hour with 5 teams. Then you've got Europa League, Conference. To not have Man United in it, what on earth is going on? Now, they're not in the League Cup now, so there's a likelihood that they're going to play least amount of games than any team in the Premier League this season. There's really no excuses going forward. So it'll be an interesting next few days. But on the front of it, they were happy with what they brought in so far, but clearly they need more.
Yeah, because not many managers will, you know, come in and then revamp everywhere and get, you know, build a whole new squad. You know, that's what he's doing. He's putting in players, you know, importantly in their places. And like you say, built the front 3. What about the midfield then? Because obviously there's lots of speculation about that. We've heard Kobbie Mainoo maybe leaving as well. I mean, what about Carlos Baleba? Is there any chance that he could be coming in?
I don't think so. There was always a feeling this was going to be a really difficult deal for Manchester United to do for a number of reasons. Some we've already stated in terms of United's position. Financially, the club are in a great position, but in terms of profit and sustainability, they need to comply with that. And having spent what they have this summer, they need to get in some money when it comes to player sales. And because they've been unable to do that, they've not been in a situation where they could realistically go to Brighton with an offer that Brighton would deem acceptable. And the other reason why Carlos Baleba wouldn't go to Manchester United is because Brighton feel he's not for sale. And we look at Brighton's outgoings over the course of the last few seasons. They've only sold players when it's been right for them, the player, and in terms of the money they're after. So Moises Caicedo went for around £115 million 2 years ago. So that's what you're sort of looking at. I'm not saying that's what they'd be looking for, but you could argue Carlos Baleba is further ahead in his football development than Moises Caicedo was when he departed. Regardless, it's not going to be a cheap deal to do. And because United have had such a bad summer in terms of outgoing so far, things may change, but they've had those players who've been training on their own. That list of 5 players so far, only one of them has gone, Marcus Rashford. That's not even permanent. The good news, they're not paying his wages, but in terms of outgoings, the main outgoings in terms of revenue generated has been the sell-on clause for the likes of Anthony Elanga going to Newcastle. It's not worked out for United. It's been a successful summer in terms of the players they bought in because they beat off competition for a number of clubs to get those 3 forwards.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it seems unlikely they're going to be able to get a midfielder who is at the level required to go into that first team right now and make a difference.
Yeah, OK. All right. Well, look, I think we're going to hear now from Fabian Hertzler, because I think he's pretty assured that Baleba's going nowhere.
Are you 100% confident that come September the 2nd, Carlos Baleba will still be a Brighton player?
Yes. If there's a number more than 100, I even would say more than 100, so I'm confident, yeah.
Yeah, I guess there is no more than 100%, is there? But there we are. Look, not long ago, these 3 players were seen as kind of the heartbeats of Manchester United's midfield. Rasmus Hojlund, Alejandro Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo as well. They could all now be heading out the door, which is potentially disappointing news, you'd have to say, for Manchester United at the moment. Why would they consider then, James, selling someone young, English and talented like Kobbie Mainoo?
What is pretty sad that what felt like something that could have been an iconic image is going to be an image which clubs use and fans use to have a go at Manchester United in terms of look at these players, look what they thought they were going to do and look what they've gone on to do. In terms of why they'd look to sell Kobbie Mainoo, he's clearly not integral to the first team right now. He doesn't have a natural place in Ruben Amorim's system playing whilst Bruno Fernandes is there, and he would represent pure profit when it comes to profit and sustainability. And I've mentioned the fact that United don't seem to sell well. Well, this would represent pure profit from that point of view. But what was interesting was Ruben Amorim spoke yesterday and he said, I believe in Kobbie Mainoo more than everybody else thinks, but it's important that he fights for his place in the team. He started yesterday, he played the full game. A number of clubs in the Premier League and in Europe are interested in signing him. At this moment in time, United aren't really open to letting him go. But of course, if a suitable offer comes in, they would definitely consider that right now because of the situation they're in. We've been told that he's not agitating for a move right now. That's our information. But it's a really difficult one because for Manchester United, the academy is such a huge part of the club. It's the club and the fan base have such a strong affection and affinity.
Hello, United fans. The club's transfer market is busy. We talk in this video about Andre Onana, who may be leaving the club, as there is no longer any atmosphere for him to continue. Hojlund is also another player leaving the club. Everything is ready for him to go on loan to Milan. In Italy, only details separate this transaction. Senne Lammens is well advanced to arrive at United. The player should arrive this Monday for medical exams and sign with United. I will follow all of this closely and bring everything to you firsthand. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Let's go United.